Welcome to Crime Time. This is a pardon hearing out of Connecticut.
Next on the docket is Mr. Adele Joseph Espinal Vasquez, being represented by Attorney Ruane. Please state your name for the record.
Yes, good morning to the board. James Ruane on behalf of Mr. Espinal Vasquez. I can submit to the board that there are no changes to his arrest or conviction history since the filing of the application, nor do we have any supplemental materials to supply to the board today. Mr. Espinal Vasquez is here and prepared to answer any questions that the board may have. So I'd start off with a great Happy New Year to all the board members and turn it over to him at this time.
Likewise, you, Counselor. All right, Mr. Espinal Vasquez, let me see if Ms. Zaganini needs anything from you. Ms. Zaganini.
I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Chance.
I don't have any questions. It's been 15 years. He seems to be doing well.
Thank you so much. Regarding Adele Jose Espinal Vasquez, the chair moves that he be granted full and absolute pardon. Ms. Chance.
Aye.
Ms. Zaganini.
Aye.
The chair votes aye, so ordered. Thank you. Good success to you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Good job.
Next on the docket is Mr. Dante Carter, being represented by Attorney Ruane.
Yes, good morning again to the board. James Ruane for Mr. Carter, who is here and prepared to answer any questions that you may have. Similarly, there have been no changes to his arrest or conviction history since the filing of his application, nor do we have any supplemental materials for us to supply to the board today. As the board is aware, many of these indicated in the application that they were with his significant other, but he can address what he has learned through his counseling over the years. I'd leave it to him to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you.
Mr. Carter.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. So I'd like to thank the board for granting me a hearing today. I believe I deserve a pardon because I've learned from my mistakes over the years. I take full accountability for my actions. I've learned how to control my emotions. I'm a father of 4 from both victims. I own 3 businesses. I'm basically just looking to be able to grow and show my kids a better life. And I'm willing to answer any questions you guys may have.
Thank you so much. Mr. Jesus, good morning.
Good morning, Chairman Giles.
Good morning, ma'am. You with us for Carter?
Yes, my apologies. I have a statement and it reads as follows. This email is to inform you that I do not agree with relieving Dante Carter of his consequences. Attached in this email are text messages proving what I still go through until this very day and how fast things can escalate in an instant with him. I remove myself in further engagement with him because it does not benefit me to go back and forth with a person who is set in their ways. I choose peace while he chooses disrespect and wonders why I'd rather not communicate with him at all. He is not a well individual. Our sons' ages are 10 and 9, still claiming that he is abusive towards his other children's mother. I do not like this behavior displayed around my sons whatsoever. We are also in the middle of a custody battle. Dante is constantly problematic, and the hardest thing that I'm expected to do is to communicate and co-parent with someone that I'm still trying to heal from. He is delusional, manipulative, disrespectful, distasteful, and harbors malice, ill intent, and animosity towards me, as if I've victimized him in any way. It's very odd behavior, especially having my sons grow up with someone of Dante's nature, and leaves me feeling helpless and anxious. Dante has shown no remorse and lacks accountability and self-control. For that, he is not deserving of a pardon. Had he really changed his life around for the better, maybe things would be different. I believe much more could be said and identified, aside from just the recent situation. Just having to go through and continuously be reminded of him and all the constant abuse, even the emotional, verbal, and mental abuse currently, is overwhelming in itself. I've grown in so many ways, and honestly, the situation has taught me to have so much peace and grace that I am not easily triggered or affected by much besides the remembrance that me and my sons have went through such a traumatic situation. And although I'm healing, I'm doing my part in nurturing my boys with love and care so that they aren't easily affected by Dante. It's still hard to witness them having no voice or choice in having to deal with him. I understand we seek therapy just to filter these emotions and transitions. It's not easy, but I do my best. My sons and I have an amazing bond, but yet I'm blamed and ridiculed for the reason Dante does not share the same connections with our son. With our son. In our custody case, I feel as though we don't have a voice, and I'm part to blame because I extended my grace to Dante countless times in hopes that he had changed and was ready and willing to co-parent healthy. So I signed off on things I shouldn't have. I showed him much remorse and leniency while he does everything in his power to continuously torture me emotionally. I avoid him at all costs, but obviously it's hard sharing two sons. He's well aware that nothing he says or does phases me besides when it comes to my children. That is the only way to get to me. I say all of this in hopes that my voice will finally be heard in some way. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Carter, in your travels, have you had an opportunity to take any anger management or domestic violence courses?
Yes, I've took the family reentry, and I've seeked therapy.
And have you had any fatherhood classes or anything?
No, I did take a parenting course. But other than that, no. Just the family reentry, therapy, and that.
And do you have active court cases going on now, as the victim alluded to, with custody battle right now?
Yes, and we actually had an agreement. I had to take her back to court for because we're adjusting the agreement.
Okay, I don't need more than that. I just want to know if you have something going on momentarily. Councilman Wayne, are you involved in that at all?
I am not, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Ms. Sacchinini?
Yeah, so I have my own concerns, Mr. Carter, because you have two different victims here. So this is a pattern with you, which is a problem, sir. At some point, you have to look in the mirror and ask yourself what the common denominator is. And if there are still some aggressive feelings, then I would suggest that you go back and address that within yourself. You can't control what other people do. You can control your own emotions and reactions. And if you can't control what you say in a text message when you know the whole world can see these things, then that's a problem, sir. You know, you should keep working on yourself.
Well, yeah, I think it was both of us. It's not.
But like I just said, you cannot control what other people do. We're not here discussing.
No, I know.
You have to control yourself. Just because someone sends me something that I don't like, I don't have to react. You see what I mean? So maybe some further work is needed here, and these are fairly recent cases. You're still growing. Yeah. We understand that. So, maybe it would benefit you to continue to work on yourself and come back. And you do have 4 kids that you want to set a good example for. You wouldn't want them to be in this situation, right? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Chance, anything?
So I'm also concerned because, in his application, he said he completed the Explorer program. And yet here we are, it's the beginning of 2023. And obviously, none of what he learned in the domestic violence program, it seems to be working. And so I am concerned and would hope that Mr. Carter would expend a little more time, just basically going back and doing some type of treatment to help him deal with some of the negative issues that he
if I may
has outstanding.
I'm sorry to interrupt, if I may ask, because maybe you guys are seeing something that I'm not. I just don't understand really what. There's been a lot of back and forth between me and the other mother, of course, and I'm not playing a blame game or anything, but it's I think it's just a lot of emotions between me and her. But this is why I went to court to try to get an agreement so that we deal less with each other. There was been a period of time where she just ignores me, and I always contact her just regarding my children, and it just seems to never work. So that's the reason why we're back in court now. But I just don't understand what I'm doing to her.
Right.
Do you understand why she might ignore you, given your history together? You were very abusive to her.
No. Yes, and I completely understand that.
Yeah. So do you understand? Have you taken a victim class where you would recognize the trauma that she might still go through every day?
No, and I agree, because me and her have a roller coaster relationship, because we've gotten back together. We've talked, and it's always been a roller coaster between me and her, and that's why I'm just so confused, because
So this is not the forum, and sir, we're not here. Our job is not to educate you on this relationship or how to interact in past domestic violence relationships. You'd have to seek that elsewhere.
So I think, Mr. Carter, though, if you're down in that Norwalk area, they have very, very good services down there. Family and Children's Aid is down there, and they provide very good services. In a case like this where the co-parenting is, of course, Department of Children and Families has some very good resources as well down there. I do think this is sort of recent, and you would need a little more time.
Yeah.
And I can help him get into those programs.
I'm sorry, Mr.
I can help him get into those programs for the.
Yes, I think there's some very good programs down there. I spent a lot of years down there, and I referred lots of folks and brought people together in that area. So I think that would be the thing to do, and then maybe come back having shown some, class work or something that would benefit Mr. Carter and his family, because really it's all about the family.
Right.
Regarding Mr. Dante Carter, I make a motion that he be denied a pardon at this time for injury and impact to the victim, the victim's family, and other active court proceeding in play. Ms. Agnini?
Hi.
Ms. Chance?
Hi.
Chair votes aye, so ordered. Mr. Carter, good success to you, sir. We'll see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor.